A former White House economist recently voiced sharp criticism concerning Vice President Kamala Harris's economic agenda. He builds upon ex-President Trump's alarming prediction that America would face a 1929-style depression should Harris be elected as president. Kevin Hassett, the economist in question, believes Harris's policies, especially her support for the Green New Deal and achieving carbon neutrality by 2030, could wreak havoc on the U.S. economy. He reasons that a sudden shift to carbon neutrality would be impossible since 75% of electricity in the U.S. currently comes from burning fossil fuels. Closing down such a massive sector could mean shutting down significant portions of the economy. During her time as a senator in 2019, Harris co-sponsored the Green New Deal, which includes ambitious goals to mitigate climate change, like a ban on fracking. However, since becoming the Democratic nominee, Harris has taken a step back on her stance against fracking. Despite this, Hassett believes her broader economic ideas remain unchanged, indicating potential dangers for the economy if they were enacted. In her most recent policy speech, Harris championed the U.S. economy, calling it the strongest globally. She mentioned policies aimed at reducing food and housing costs. Her previous unsuccessful presidential run in 2019 included economic policies like a $3 trillion tax plan meant to increase taxes on the wealthy, raising the federal minimum wage, and implementing a Bernie Sanders-style Medicare for All system. Experts worry that her collection of economic ideas might align too closely with socialism, leading to disastrous outcomes. Harris's recent speech, which could have been an opportunity to provide clarity on her economic policy, left many unimpressed. According to several notable articles, the vice president's plan was filled with populist gimmicks rather than solid strategies. Criticism stemmed from her attempts to address voter anxieties about high grocery and housing costs. One pointed out that she politicized the inflation issues by blaming big businesses, aiming to enforce a vaguely defined federal ban on price gouging. Articles criticized Harris for her approach in targeting companies that supposedly make excessive profits. Critics drawing upon historical failures, like Nixon's price controls from the 1970s, believe her plans would misfire. The skepticism is widespread, with analysts lambasting her proposals, such as providing $25,000 to new homeowners, which they believe would drive up housing prices further instead of curbing them. Even within traditionally liberal media, Harris's economic proposals have met scrutiny. A major editorial board accused her of not being honest with voters about why prices remain high, despite a cooling inflation rate. They highlighted that her housing plan, though built on a more solid foundation, still fell short due to potential financial imprudence. Further adding to the complexity, some economists have acknowledged that while corporate behavior has indeed played a role in rising grocery prices, other factors such as supply chain disruptions and consumer buying patterns during the pandemic have had a much larger impact. Despite this nuance, Harris's campaign continues to emphasize corporate price gouging as a primary culprit, a narrative that polls well with swing voters and progressive groups. In conclusion, Harris's economic plans have become a lightning rod for debate. Critics argue that her policies could lead the nation toward economic instability, while some see her proposals as political maneuvers rather than meaningful solutions. As the election approaches, the impact of her economic views on voters remains to be seen, but the strong conservative argument warns of potential peril for adopting her strategies.